I apparently liked Aladdin as a child, but I don't really have any recollection of enjoying it. Over the years, my interest in it has kind of teetered. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I really don't care. But I like it enough that I was quite curious to watch the sequels. Aladdin and the Return of Jafar, and also the third film, Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Watching this for the first time as an adult, I don't believe I ever saw it as a child, it's an interesting experience. The film itself is not great. There are bits about it that I really love, but there are bits about it that I thought were really dire. And I'm quite surprised to see it's got 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb. It's very rare that a film will have a rating higher than what I give it. I'm usually quite positive, sometimes overly so. But this one seems to be well liked. Released in 1996, directed by Tad Jones, with our fabulous Robin Williams as the Genie. Really brilliant voice cast. Jim Cummings, Corey Burton, some great names in here that you'll associate with a lot of other Disney films. So familiarity is a great thing here, and apart from Robin Williams' performance, there wasn't really anything in this that I thought was very good, but he is in it a lot, at least for the first half of the film. So I won't spoil anything about the narrative, but I'll read the description from IMDb, and this is as follows. The King of Thieves disrupts Aladdin and Jasmine's long-anticipated wedding, looking for an oracle that will lead him to an even bigger treasure. His true identity causes trouble for Aladdin. I don't know how much to expand on that. Do I tell you what his true identity is? Maybe it's not really a secret. I will say Aladdin starts to look into his past, and it's quite good to get some background information on Aladdin. We find out more about Aladdin as a person, where he came from, what made him be the person he is today, and that's obviously good. That's always a good thing. It's interesting enough. There's no real progression for Jasmine. Jasmine's almost like a supporting character here. She's barely in it. When she is in it, it's pretty good. She spends a lot of time with the Genie, and we get to see her dressed up in different Disney princess costumes. So we get to see Jasmine wearing Snow White's outfit and Cinderella's, and I thought that was really great. There are little homages to a lot of Disney to a lot of other Disney characters in this. The Genie transforms into Pluto, a blue Pluto. Just loads of little things in here that if you are a Disney fan, which I assume you are, you'll kind of pick up these different references. The narrative is pretty dull after the first half. The first half is pretty much the Genie show. He is the most prominent character. He has the most dialogue, and I love his dialogue. He has an incredibly funny dialogue that I definitely enjoyed. I think visually, when he's transforming really quickly, the children will enjoy it. The dialogue itself, there are a lot of little things in there that, he says them really quickly, and he speaks like the Genie. He speaks very fast, and there are a lot of things in there that only the adult ear will get. Not necessarily because they're inappropriate for children, but because they're just things that children would not be aware of. And I like that, because it means when you're watching it as an adult, it gives it a little bit something else, and that's something that I really appreciate and really enjoy. Once the Genie is no longer the main focus, it's just not that good. It's quite dark, not by which I mean it's not scary. I mean, it might be quite scary if you're a young child, but it's not terrifyingly scary, but it's just dull. Once the Genie is no longer the focus, there are no bright colours, it's not pretty. I never really felt a sense of urgency. It wasn't very well developed. Also, I forgot to mention Scott Weinger, voices Aladdin, which is great. I'm a big Fuller House fan. It's not a great narrative. The development's very poor. It's a film of two halves. The animation quality is true to the 1992 style, but I never realised quite how bad Aladdin looks. The animation quality just seems really off compared to, other films from this time, and even films that came long before this. It just seems not the best, and I don't know why that is. It's worth watching if you like Aladdin. It's worth watching if you like Disney once. I don't believe I'd watch it a second time. The other thing that really bugged me is that the songs are, they're not evenly spread out. We have several songs in the first, maybe third, and then like no songs, and then one song here and there, and it's not really very well spread out, and that can be quite awkward and uncomfortable to watch when you've just had an overload of songs and then nothing, and the tone shifts, and I don't like that. In terms of the songs, most of them were unmemorable, but I did like There's a Party Here in Agrabah. I liked that one quite a lot. The rest of them were pretty mediocre, but that one made up for it because it was pretty good. So the film has its benefits. Me being a big Robin Williams fan, I adored his performance, and I actually think it's one of his best voice performances. Better than the first film? Maybe not. But it's, a lot more intricate, a lot more nuances. I really thoroughly enjoyed his performance here. If you like Aladdin or you like Disney, definitely give it a watch. But if you're just looking for a film to put on casually and aren't really that bothered about Disney, but maybe you like animation, I don't think you'll get much out of it. I don't even know if it's great for children, because I feel like once the tone shifts, I just find it really hard to kind of stay focused and keep interested. It's rare that I will disagree with an IMDb rating by being lower than the rating, but I don't think it deserves 6.4. I'd give it 5 out of 10.